Okay, here we go. Uh, just static. Let me break this down. Hopefully everybody's okay. I know that is so bizarre. Okay. Thank you, Amp. How you doing? Let me show this video. Can you still hear me, Amp? Hey, Letha. Okay, good. All right, now let me get to this. Um, do the share on this. The bill did pass without Republican um, votes, but this is the latest.
When Democrats assumed the majority in this chamber, we promised to pass legislation to rescue our people from the depths of the pandemic and bring our economy and our country roaring back. In a few moments, we are going to deliver on that promise. This bill will deliver more help to more people than anything the federal government has done in decades. It is broader, deeper, and more comprehensive in helping working families and lifting people out of poverty than anything Congress has seen or accomplished in a very long time. The pandemic has affected nearly every aspect of American life, so this bill spans the gamut and provides support to every part of our country. For Americans who doubted that the government can help them in this time of crisis, you'll be getting direct checks. Your schools will receive assistance to reopen quickly and safely. Your local businesses will get another lifeline. And the day when you receive the vaccine will be a lot sooner. The American Rescue Plan will go down as one of the most sweeping federal recovery efforts in history. It's never easy to pass legislation as momentum as this, but it will all and soon be worth it. Now, I know that on Saturday morning, the American people aren't watching our proceedings here. They're probably out walking the dog or sitting down with at breakfast with the kids. But I want them to know help is on the way, that their government is going to give one final push to get us over the finish line. I want the American people to know that we're going to get through this, and someday soon, our businesses will reopen, our economy will reopen, and life will reopen. We will end this terrible plague, and we will travel again and send our kids to school again and be together again. Our job right now is to help our country get from this stormy present to that hopeful future. And it starts with voting aye on the legislation before us. Vote yes on the American Rescue Plan. Vote yes. And before I yield the floor, one final note. Let us all express our deepest gratitude to all of my colleagues. We went through a long, long period in the last day. To the staffs of the committees and the personal Senate offices who worked so hard to put this legislation together, And especially, let us thank the great floor staff, the clerks, the cafeteria workers, the custodial staff, and the Capitol Police.
The Senate has never spent $2 trillion in a more haphazard way or through a less rigorous process. Voters gave Senate Democrats the slimmest possible majority. Voters picked a president who promised unity and bipartisanship. Democrats' response is to ram through what they call, quote, the most progressive domestic legislation in a generation on a razor-thin majority in both houses. The right path was obvious. We followed it 5 times last year. 5 rescue packages totaling $4 trillion, and none of them got fewer than 90 votes. The Senate wrote the CARES Act, Republicans and Democrats shoulder to shoulder. That was the road to real pandemic relief, but Democrats actually wanted, Mr. President, something else. They explained their intent very clearly: to exploit this crisis, quote, as a tremendous opportunity to restructure things to fit our vision. That's how you get this massive bill with only 1% for vaccinations. That ignores the science on reopening schools, that's stuffed with non-COVID related spending that even top liberal economists say is wrong for the recovery. Democrats inherited a tide that is already turning. 2021 is already set to be our comeback year because the American people's resilience and the bipartisan foundation that we laid last year. We could have worked together to speed up victory, but our Democratic colleagues made a decision. Their top priority wasn't pandemic relief, it was their Washington wish list. So, Mr. President and colleagues, I strongly recommend a no vote.
The yeas are 50, the nays are 49. The bill as amended is passed.
All right. So, start to share on that. All right. I see my volume now. There we go. Let's get this together. So this is just a really quick live. I wanted to do a pop-up. We're going to break down what's in the bill tomorrow. The $1,400 is in there in case anyone is wondering. That's in there without any Republican support, by the way. So you didn't see me do the music at the beginning. It was very intentional today. But let me pause for a minute, because if we can look up, we can get up, and if we can get up, we can go up. Really quick live. I wanted to get right into it and break the latest breaking news that all the news outlets been breaking, because we've been watching this. We saw the shenanigans yesterday, the trickery, the foolishness, and the hypocrisy on the Senate floor. We sat and watched for hours, and Joe Manchin, you better had did what you did and voted yes. Don't play. You already know what it is. Now, yeah, I said that. But the hypocrisy, before we even get off, because tomorrow when we go live, it's a lot to get to. Trust me, we're not going to get through all the videos, but yeah, we're going to walk it on this right here. Mitch McConnell, last year in March, and stuff like that, March and April, in the months right there, a CARES Act was passed. Sponsored by you, buddy. Co-sponsored by you. So you just sat up there and lied, but y'all used to lying, right? Y'all move your lips a lot of times, y'all lying. Matter of fact, you supported a Pinocchio for 4 years and said you would support another Pinocchio again. even though Pinocchio caused the insurrection. So let's move on. No nonsense today. Um, Page 490 in the Careless Act that you helped legislate and wrote and drafted with your team, Sunscreen Gate. You wrote in there the manufacturing and production of sunscreen. Let me say it again, Mitch McConnell, on page 490. It's a flashback. The manufacturing and production of sunscreen that was in the first Careless Act that you call the CARES bill had absolutely nothing to do with coronavirus. And the other bills that you refuse to bring to the floor. So you need to go somewhere, sit it down, and shut your mouth completely up for a little while. Put it on mute, and the absence of sound is silence. Get there. Yeah, that's what you can do. Oh yes, cha-cha, sunscreen gate. Sunscreen gate. See, because some of us be reading through these bills. Also, at their discretion, Steve Mnuchin can do whatever he wanted to do when he was lending that money. Don't play with me. But again, we will see what's in this bill, and what's in this bill won't be what was in those other bills, which weren't for coronavirus at all. Let's make it plain. In that first bill, Mitch McConnell, you all, with some Democrats voting on that, like somebody was holding them hostage, set up and gave billionaires tax breaks. Companies who have not been paying their taxes, they got tax breaks in the first Careless Act. Furthermore, you all said that they were supposed to keep a certain percentage of their employees, and you wrote money in there for that, an oversight committee. We have yet to see where those funds went to in their entirety. We don't have full disclosure of that information. That was in the first Careless Act. We read through there. That's what y'all signed on to and voted for. That's what Pinocchio number 45 signed. We want to know who got all them loans and where that money went to. We want to know what employers kept their staff. We want to know how many tax breaks they got and how much they got. We want to see the records. We want them books. We don't want the fat-fingered books and the pad books. We want the real ones. So, I didn't even anticipate no rolling on Mitch McConnell. I just wanted to come on and show the video, but he had to open up his mouth. So, we'll get there tomorrow. We will get this, and the teacher in me would not be a teacher if I did not do comparison and contrasting. Now, would I? I feel a teacher in me rising up. So, I'm sure the teacher in me will start manifesting tomorrow, and we're going to compare and contrast. We're going to get that bill, that Careless Act Mitch McConnell did. I already got that. And we're going to compare and contrast some stuff. So having said that, you all, thank you so much for streaming. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant night. I will see everybody tomorrow. Like I said, this was just a pop-up. Letha, When I spoke to her, I gave my word that when the Senate passed this, I would come on informing people that the Senate did pass this. So some people will be getting $1,400 plus, depending on how many kids you got and different things like that. And we'll break that down tomorrow too. After we do a little comparing and contrasting and cover some other things, then the rest of the day, we're going straight to these bills. So you're welcome, Lisa. All right. I'm getting all that feedback in the background. All right. Have a pleasant evening and a pleasant night. And remember this, we can look up, we can get up, we can get up, we can go up, and always a moment of silence for all of those who have lost their lives. You all have a pleasant evening and a pleasant night. Bye-bye, everybody.